If you don't remember the original Operation Wolf from the arcades, it's likely you played the NES port, or maybe one of the 2 sequels, or maybe you're just not in your 40s yet. Regardless, once upon a time, long before House of the Dead or Time Crisis, Operation Wolf was one of the best light gun shooters out there, and this week it's making its not-so-glorious return, this time on PlayStation VR2. For anyone new to Operation Wolf or unfamiliar with the formula, well, not a whole lot has changed here. You're dragged along a predetermined path from the beginning of the level until the end, with a seamlessly endless number of soldiers, tanks, and attack copters coming in from all angles to try to take you down. In the old days, you need to shoot down their shells or grenades to avoid getting hit by them, and you can do that here too, but in VR where you have an actual presence, you'll be doing a lot more pistol whip and super hot-like maneuvers to physically dodge them. And like those games, you don't have a body, so your head is the only target you have to worry about. You'll get bonus points and save ammo with headshots and taking down groups of enemies simultaneously by blowing up the requisite red barrels strewn throughout each level. You're given 4 main weapons to start: a pistol, shotgun, SMG, and assault rifle. And maybe it's just me, but as long as I always had ammo for the assault rifle, that was my go-to weapon. It was the strongest and most accurate for every type of target I encountered, so you'll probably see me using it quite a bit throughout the course of this review. Before you get started though, make sure you stop in and play the brief tutorial, because there's not much to learn here, but there isn't nothing to learn. You switch between weapons with the left analog stick, reload by pointing the gun down, throw grenades by hitting R1, and something I amazingly didn't learn until about an hour into the game: health packs don't automatically regenerate health when you pick them up. You've got to press square to use one. As stupid as that sounds, it does bring up a pretty interesting point about First Mission VR. I didn't know how to use a health pack because I almost never needed to use a health pack. It's insanely easy on the default normal difficulty, and switching over to hard mode just means that you'll have to reload a little faster and dodge a little more. So no matter which difficulty you choose, you'll likely breeze through the game on your first try, S-ranking all 6 stages and possibly even getting the platinum like I did when you see the credits roll a mere 2 hours after the game starts. And there's very little here that makes it replayable. Even the game's all-you-can-beat endless wave shooter mode, which offers constant 360 action, something the campaign only throws at you occasionally, is way too easy, and I reached wave 41 on my pretty relaxed first attempt, and without any of the kind of things you'd expect from the home version of a, say, Time Crisis game, like unlocks, perks, alternate mission layouts, or any kind of multiplayer. I don't see myself ever coming back to it. Oh, and despite teasing us with an old-school Operation Wolf arcade cabinet in the main menu, the original arcade game simply isn't playable here. Luckily, everything here looks and sounds good with clean, stylized graphics and a decent soundtrack to accompany the endless gunfire. One oddity that I'm still trying to wrap my head around though is that occasionally the game will go into slow motion bullet time, but it's totally at random. Why isn't this a meter that I'm filling up and using during boss fights? That aside, adaptive triggers feel good and only become a problem if you use your pistol constantly, which you won't except to get one specific trophy. Though I do have to say that haptics aren't quite as strong as they could have been. When I started playing Operation Wolf Return's First Mission VR, it was kind of everything I wanted a reboot of the franchise to be. Dodging bullets, blowing up fighter planes, killing bosses, it was great. But the more I played, the more disappointed I became. If there had been cool unlocks or perks, harder difficulty levels, a 2-player co-op option, or any replayability whatsoever, I'd be raving about it. But there isn't, so I'm not.